Am I live? Probably. Let's see if this is working. If Andres Vedres is online. Hello. So let me just check if my mics are working. I only have one audio. So let's see if this is working. If Andres Vedres is this is no good, no bueno. Cannot put my desktop audio for some reason. I having feedback from the mic, but either way, hello everyone. Nice that we are all gathering up, and by all I have no idea because I cannot see how many people are online. Probably not too many because it's the day after Christmas, so most folks are doing what they should, which should be enjoying uh, the holidays. So, as the title says, today it's all about, yeah, happy holidays to everyone. Still going to the new year. That's the one missing. I think then is Chinese New Year probably. And after that, I have no idea, probably Mardi Gras or Carnival, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to make a quick recap of the year, my favorite bits that I enjoyed this year, which is was a year for, I will not say growth in terms of the channel, even though it was like the first year that I was very consistent with posting, but it was a year of expansion, as you can see by the background, which is I finally caught a barbel on camera with lures, and this was, I would say, probably my favorite moment of the year. So I rank this as number one. Me on a trout tournament catching my first barbel on camera. I quite like it. It was, I would say, I highly rank it as one of my favorite moments of the year. Fishing, of course. Um, pretty awesome being able to capture what is probably the hardest fighting fish that we have in Portugal on freshwater, especially with light gear. Um, so huge fish, very well built. This one, yeah, top of my year. But the consistency that I had this year was what amazed me the most. Since I've logged the all the fishing that I've been doing, I think I average 5 fish per session, and my sessions are usually like maybe once per month. Do over 2 hours, but they are usually under 2 hours. So that was something that struck me also. And the other thing that struck me was that this year I caught more bass than chub. Um, Marius, hello, happy holidays to you also. Yeah, this year I caught like double the bass than I caught chub. But this was my favorite moment of 2025 in terms of fishing. This comes in a close second. This is me catching my PB chub, but the violence of it was the thing that made me enjoy it so much. It could be like a funnier catch because he was very close to me, so it was just a question of me managing the line because it was very near me. Again, a spot that I didn't explore that much last year, and this year I explored it a lot. Even though it doesn't have a lot of catches in here, the ones that I have feel different. I don't know if it's the way the fish feed here because the water is a little bit more still. Even though it's very close to the usual places that I go, pretty awesome. So I will rank this my second favorite moment of the year. Other moment um, that was quite special for me, and you can see in here why. So this is my dad over here, and my kid was also on this day fishing with us. And even though you cannot see, this is me testing the ending skull wolf. um, it's a super ultralight rod, and the special part about this is that I've got the rod like I think either the day before, yes, the day before I've shoot the unboxing, and on the next day I think I had a day off. I just grabbed my, not even that, I was doing like morning shift, and I got my kids and my dad when I arrived home, I think around 6. I reached the spot almost at 7 o'clock, and I had like 1 hour and change. And by change, I mean like 10 minutes to shoot the video. And it was a spot on, awesome end of the day. As you can see, the sun is already low in here. And man, it was so much fun. This was like almost 7 o'clock. I know it's summer, so now it's just good memories of warmer times. But man, it was pretty awesome. Just because of the quick paceness of it, my dad also caught some Twitch chat that day. The kid was like ecstatic from seeing the fish catches. He always enjoys them. And I think I even caught some, oops, no, this is my face all sweaty. And I think I even caught, I think, sunfish and bass this day. So even better. I think there's somewhere, sorry, I shoot like a lot of hours of video. Yeah, very small petite bass. So very, very awesome day. And as you can see by the end of the video, it's really, really late. So awesome, awesome. These are the types of day that make me want to fish even more. And I went on the end of the summer with my kid also near this spot, and I did an amazing bass session. Also, almost the same term. So go there very, very late on the day and just come in like when the sun is going down and have an awesome day. And lastly, oops, let's close the tabs or I will run out of memory. It was just testing the Purelure Arc Reflex because I really like the rod. It's probably my awesome rod. And talking about awesome rods, one thing that I want to also do on the recap is say to you guys what I'm keeping. So there are things that I will be for sure keeping for 2026. And the reasons might be not be the ones that you are thinking. So it's maybe not my favorites. Some of them are my favorites. Some of them are because of the tech, and some of them are because I need some reference for the testing. Basically, like there are some rules that I will always keep, or rods, because imagine I will not resell Purelure rods in Portugal because I will not get any money from them because they are still Chinese rods. So the resale value in Portugal, there is no market for it mostly. Maybe I will try to sell some things in Vinted. People from Europe can help me with that because I have no idea how Vinted works for like inside Europe sales, because I really want to get rid of stuff. I have too much stuff, and I will do like stupid prices. And if someone can wants to take the things from me, it would be easier this way. And you can see my dad over there also fishing for Twitch chat, which was another awesome thing from this year. Taking my dad lure fishing, which he usually doesn't do. He only does like float fishing and pull fishing, that sort of stuff, and some method feeder. And it was very, very cool these days. But what I was saying, like I will be keeping some stuff, and that's what I want to cover today on the video. So, and I will explain why. But again, the reasons are either I really like that stuff. It serves as like a reference point for me to review other things upon, and they have like it's no reason for me to get rid of them. But basically, most of the things I like them, or they serve a purpose of being like the benchmark as I want to compare other things. So, and also I found a new thing. Look, Samola just quietly released the Savona. I think it's the name that is in here. Again, as usual, everything is linked on the description. The videos that were my favorite points of the year, and also the stuff that I'm showing you right now. There is no promotion. So basically, even though there's Brands Day, other than Early Birds deal, there are no promotions whatsoever. So with that said, everything is still linked on the description. If someone later gets this video, or if they want to run it on the 1st of January where they will be running a promotion, feel free to do it. But basically, look at this reel. It's quite intriguing. I would say this is very similar to the Beer King Athena, which it has the same cup as the Diver wheels, but this one costs 25 euros, even less than 25 euros. So pretty awesome. And you can buy it with a standard spool, which is also quite nice. So it's a pretty cool reel. I think I'll be ordering one for me. I ordered something since the last live. I ordered this one, the Caesar Worm Shaft, the 1000 size. I ordered the Miss Lure Elf Ultra. I ordered the weirdly Tavern, the colored Tavern BFS reel. So some more stuff for being like in the box somewhere until I can have my way around it to test it. But this one looks pretty cool. I'm very intrigued by it. If it's anything like the Beer King Athena, it can be nice. It can be a pain on the ass with like quality control problems. But let's see. Moving on to the things that I will keep. This one is a no-brainer. All the Mi Fine microbites that I have, the spinning version, the casting version, the travel version, and the holotip version, I'm keeping them all because they are the benchmark of that 50 euro price point, and there's no other way around it. I'm also keeping the Mi Fine Ghost Blade Super Ultralight because this for me it's the most fun, and the holotip makes it even more fun. And then I cannot remember the what is the other one that I cannot remember the name. Jeez, I'm having a blank. You have the ghost blade with a holotip, and then you have the why it is not appearing in here. Let me find Jesus. Illusion Slash, Jesus. The Illusion Slash. I quite prefer it because usually when I'm fishing with it, I might get some sunfish, and for sunfish, the holotip it's quite better. It's a lot snappier on the hook set, and that helps a lot with sunfish. And also from me fine, I'm keeping the Pegasus because I still think it's unless I find something this in 2026. I think probably this is still one of the best beginner rods that you can get on AliExpress. It's it covers a lot of the weights that I use. It also it's very versatile. It has the hollow tip, so you can fish a bunch of techniques with it. 0.8 to 3.5 grams. I don't think you will be like pinched on one type of fishing. You can do a lot of stuff. So I'm keeping this one also. From Purelure, I'm keeping a lot of stuff, but basically the titanium T I'm keeping. The Reflex Arc, it's my favorite rod. I'm keeping it. The Zero, I bought this for myself, not even for review, so I'm keeping it. So basically, these are the ones that will be still around for being some benchmarks. From Tsurunoya, I'm keeping the Elf Pro, the casting version. Also the Spirit Fox, I'm keeping it because I think this rod has potential if you don't run into the same problem as I do with a little bit of a heavier braid and the larger spool reel. I still think the rod has a lot more to give. Hopefully they will not take it out of sale because some things from Tsurunoya just disappeared. Also from Kuing, I'm keeping the Artist because, man, I want to go fishing in some specific spots with this rod because it's so damn accurate. Kuing Super Lit, again, I bought this rod for myself for fishing on saltwater and brackish water to test heavier reels, so I'm keeping this one. The Handing Skull Wolf, I'm also keeping it for wading and hopefully this year more of stand-up paddle fishing because it's shorter, so it should be better when I'm floating or on my float tube. So I'm keeping this one. The Caesar Zero I'm keeping because it's very very light rod. The Yumingbo Shishi, I'm also keeping this one, the telescopic. And these are the rods that I'm not selling for sure. So I may keep some other rods, or I may be stuck with some other rods, but these are the ones that I'm keeping because either I like them or I need them as being like the best value, the yardstick, that sort of stuff. And for bait casting reels, I'm keeping the Zana because this has the same sort of raking system as the Micro Monster from Kingdom, so I'm keeping it. I'm keeping the Purelure Miek. I'm also keeping the Purelure Silver Feather Elite and the Air, but for some reason they don't appear or they are out of stock. I already contact Purelure to see if they are just vanished or if they are plans to bring them back on sale. So I'm also keeping the iStar Geo that's also disappeared also. The Geo should cost €6. This is the Geo Carbon, which is lighter weight. So yeah, there's that. So this one is a lot more expensive, but basically I'm keeping this one. I also did a video on how to upgrade it, which is the same way as upgrading the iStar Aurora Mini, which I'm also keeping because I quite like it. And I'm keeping these ones from iStar. And I'm also keeping, and I have already ordered the ball bearings for this reel, the Anatono Silver Winner, because it will be the yardstick of budget BFS reels starting 2026. So this one is also staying, and the Mavos Resolute because I was promised a shallow spool and I'm keeping it in case of the shallow spool being released. Also keeping the Cadence Elf because it's so cute. I need to keep it. And I just upgraded the bearings. I really want to test it. And I'm also keeping the Diota Tula TW80 as a yardstick for what, like, the cheapest thing that you can get, even needing the Gomexos shallow spool that you can get from the conventional companies. And you will not be seeing me anytime soon buying the Shimano entry level BFS reels, because for everything that I've heard, they only start to cast really at 3 and something grams and up, and I don't want any of that near me. In spinning reels, I'm keeping the Takuma Linkshi. I'm also keeping the Kingdom Tagman, which fortunately it's still on sale. I'm keeping the Caesar Prospect, the Tsurunoya Metis, and my Daiwa Regal. And you've seen me mentioning other reels, baitcasters and spinning reels. If you don't see them in here, it's because in here I'm just mentioning things that I've already made videos on. So, like the Purelure Divia Max, the Purelure Realm, you've heard me talking about it, like the some Takuma reels that I've already tested, like the P11, the Monster. What else did I test it? The Caesar Zero VX 119 grams. The Marvelous Magic L, that sort of stuff. I've tested them, but since the video is not out, they are not featured on this list. And also another thing that I want to mention, I changed the hour of the live stream, even though I'm not thinking that today would be a good day for the live stream, because it's like right between the days of Christmas and New Year's Eve and New Year's. But I just wanted to put this out, so when people ask me what I'm keeping, what I'm ready to part ways with, this is this sort of stuff. Either way, I'm quite happy with my decisions on that point. For 2026, what we are getting, hopefully, I'm able to do the Portugal fishing postcard series. I want to make them. I'm going back and forth of making it like by region, by river, because by region makes a lot of sense. Because if you are from outside of Portugal, it makes a lot of sense. Let me open Google Maps. If you are from outside of Portugal, it makes a lot of sense to have um, like let's say by region. It's a lot easier to make it, but you can also break it apart by river system, which it might be easier to be recognized, so you know where you're fishing and that sort of stuff. So I'm still debating with that. The other thing, it's already kicked out, it's upgrading and messing up with the reels. I already shoot the Purelure Silver Feather Elite ball bearing upgrade, which is, I think, the messiest of all the ball bearing upgrades on the baitcaster that you can have. I will have it on the iStar Geo, which will serve all the iStar like Aurora Air frame family, the upgrade. I'm waiting on bearings for the Anatono Silverina, as I already told, and I already have the bearings for the Shimano Ultegra, which will take it on terms of ball bearings to the level of the not what is the word that I'm looking for? The Shimano. I would say in terms on the space of the Stradic, in terms of ball bearing counts. So I think I will put it 4 more ball bearings, and I have the line guide from Gomexos also to upgrade it. I'm still trying to source a lighter handle, but for some reason it's quite hard to find one. Even the ones that have the handle are made from carbon fiber. Um, they are very, very around the same weight than the one that comes from factory. So basically, my idea to 2026, it's the ball bearing upgrade, getting the tier list on with of my favorite lures. That one will be very biased. Line, I think I showed you. I just recently had a big order coming on from Zukibu with braided lines, that sort of stuff. I will do a tier list. The tier list will be upgraded on the near future, which would be quite nice. I think before spring I will do an upgrade, and I will be hopefully delving on a lot more of DC reels when they come down on cast weight. And even if they don't come down on cast weight, I think a lot of people are intrigued with DC reels. So let's open quickly AliExpress, and I will be delving on like, and now I cannot see any of this, like Caesar, DC Cast, um, maybe the Takuma P1 DC. I will be going after like this one. Uh, let's see another look. Yeah, might be getting one of these or the other one. I cannot remember which one has the lightest cast weight. This anything near this price point, and I know that they also have somewhere. I think I have it on my cart somewhere. Let's check the cart. Where do I have it? So I found this online. This is not on the links, but basically they released a shallow spool for the P1 DC from Takuma. There's a lot of one. The one from Delcu, the one that costs this one, the one that costs 28 euros. I'm also very intrigued. This one, this price point leaves me a little bit on my back feet, but it claims it can cast from 2 grams. But this the DC round of reels will come. Ooh, firefighters on the background. It will come like on Twitch at season, because by then it's a lot easier for me to fish slightly heavier if I need, so I can give a proper test of the reels. Also, I said I wouldn't order from AliExpress again, but I couldn't resist an order at Surveyor Kingfisher. I can't wait it to arrive. I have a feeling it will be great with my aging. Yes, I think it should be an awesome reel, because I someone mentioned it. Maybe it was you. I have the Francis Pro, and I quite like the reel. And if they can make it better and lighter, which by the weight and by the price it suggests that it's better, it should be awesome. But basically this will be it. I think from now to maybe the spring, something like it, I will focus more on the lighter gear, because it's what is available right now. And I will be fishing a lot of smaller spinning reels that I have laying around that needs to be testing, like the Taban PM, a lot of Taban and Autotone reels that are quite nice and budget friendly with a lot of nice features. I will be fishing a bunch of them. I also will also be fishing a lot of like small non-major AliExpress brand rods that usually are available on that type of Lucky Time store. And I really want to focus on by the summer on the DC reels, probably even more coming out until then, and a slow oscillation. Just order one more to test. Hopefully, the tech will come down on weight and like frame size, because I think let me think, the Caesar worm shaft that I ordered weighs 220 grams, so it's a little bit on the heavier side. But man, there's so many DC reels right now and slow oscillating reels that I will have no problem whatsoever filling the 52 weeks of the year. I think I will probably be putting out more than 52 reviews next year, just based, let me see, just based on the things that I have. Yeah, just based on the things that I have in here. So me fine attacking, these ones that are things that are arriving or just arrived and I didn't film the unboxing. Look at this. Jesus, a lot of stuff. So I already have like 78 lines of things that I have to film fishing. I know some of them I will be skipping because the products are not good or they are irrelevant, but man, that's still a lot of things. Either way, oops, a lot of stuff to cover. I also want to be able to test like one or two more round reels, do some proper fishing, because man, I was just editing. Let me see if I can. Nice, going through the files, but basically I just edit because I needed to save some space. I was just editing me fishing with a Purelure Nadivia Max, going out after some different type of fishing, as you can see in here, and I was fishing with a Purelure Pioneer Elite. Look at the line coming out. I don't know how good it will be on the stream, but look at the line coming out of the reel. It's just so nice. It packs the line so well. You can see the line lay still perfect. And basically I was fishing with a friend, and the only thing I've got, so this is a teaser. There will be maybe a while. The only thing, I think you can see through here. Nope, too far on the video. Let's see if I can. Okay, so this is me trying to catch some mullet just to save the skunk on this day, and I was able to do it. Just pretty awesome. The ability to pin the rod, it's actually quite good. A shame that for that day we couldn't catch any Xander, because it would be awesome to feel it on the rod. The rod, it's the Purelure Nadivia Max. The reel, it's the Purelure Pioneer Elite. And my friend was with me. We were trying to get it with my extendable net, but yeah, no way around. A lot of people looking at us because they think we are crazy. We are fishing like on this deep of water on an affluent of Douro, and my friend just went the other way around and netted the mullet for me. So quite cool. A lot of people avoiding the line, but yeah, I will be doing a lot more adventures next year because I have some heavier gear that I want to put heavier fish on. But if I learned anything this year is that bigger fish will always come on the stupid situations. Like I think I showed last stream, I've caught a carp when I was trying to fish for small bass on 1.5 gram tops Mikado rod. I've caught my biggest bass this year while I was trying to fish for sunfish on a pocket on the grass on a pillar of a bridge. And for I was lucky that my dad was there and I could toss him the net for him to net me the fish. But yeah, very very weird situations that happened this year. Usually I always caught bigger fish while trying to fish small. Very very weird. I also caught the barbel trying to fish for trout. I caught the trout, like a small size trout this year, on the dump, trying to fish for mullet. So, yeah, probably next year will be the same. Yeah, basically and I'll be trying to do a lot of more of these live streams because I like the back and forth. Again, today I was not expecting that many people watching because it's the holidays. I changed the time. I think I had it for 10:30 p.m. and Portugal time. I don't know what time it will be. I think I put it 1 hour earlier or 1.5 hours earlier because it was the way that the schedule came around to be. But next year I will try to have like at least the foreshadowing of programming the lives 1 week in advance, so people that want to watch have the. And I will promise to not mess up with the time next year, but I will try to do it in between Friday and Sunday. Again, it will be hard because I work those days sometimes. I don't have like fixed days off, so that will be it. A little bit hard, but I will try to put it 1 week in advance. So you guys also have time to put on the questions if you have any for the live for me to answer. But yeah, basically it will be it. Continuing on with the tier list, continuing on with the upgrades on tackle, continuing on with fishing more and different spots, and giving a little bit more knowledge. Next year, I might do a how-to series, especially fishing with BFS, how to approach fishing ultralight. I know that I've promised this last year, but I think this year I already have the equipment and the knowledge, because the hard thing is not coming out with ideas. It's like how to set up the shooting, because testing gear and fishing, it's quite easy. I just put the camera right, so you have this background. So I put a camera in here, I go in here, I hold the stuff up, say something, put it on the table. Very very easy. When I'm outdoors fishing and testing stuff, it's also very easy. I just grab my DJI camera, put it on my neck and fish with it. I just put a tripod up, especially on the summer when it's very very sunny and the image quality is quite good. Now I have the mic. I can be talking, approaching, coming close. I had the idea of buying a second camera. I just quit of that idea because I don't have realistically the time to edit the video with the pace that I like to have of one review per week. So I have abandoned that idea. I will just keep filming like my phone on a tripod and my camera on my neck. I think it's the best approach to it. And that's what I intend to keep on doing. Hopefully with more tutorials, more weird lures. I just ordered a bunch of them that will only be useful on summer, but I really want that stop water action. And also, I really want to fish more with my stand-up paddle and my flow tube, because I think I'm missing on fish, not being able to fish. Like, if you saw my video on that Kuma P7, the place there that I was fishing, it's the same place of the Twitch Shed. That place is awesome. It's full of fish, it's full of life, and I can only explore a part of it because the access from the bank is just crap. And there are parts of the year where they just release a bunch of water, and you cannot really do wading because it's, I would say, dangerous. So I want to put my support there and fish from inside of the water like that. And because it's also a very cheap way to start fishing on the water. Subboards, especially the ones that have the share attachment, flow tubes. But flow tubes, I really prefer them on like more of a static water situation, like dams and lakes. So maybe that. Márcio G. Brandão, happy holidays from Brazil. Feliz Natal para ti e para os teus. E feliz ano novo. Que aí é uma grande festa. Aqui é muito frio. Temos de estar em casa a embebedar-nos para aquecer. Just a bit of Portuguese for Márcio. He will understand because he's from Brazil. And there it's very, very hot. And in here, as you can see, it's very, very cold, and that's one of the reasons that I'm very, very sad. I was not able to fish for 2 weeks because it's all the rivers are flooded, which is very, very annoying. And flooded flooded rivers, they are not good for ultralight and super ultralight. I don't know if you have any questions, but feel free to put them on the chat. I think we have something like 6 viewers. So if you have any questions, because I really didn't have a lot of things planned other than the stuff that I'm keeping for sure, like 2026 plans. If you have any input for the plans that you want, or if any video ideas that you have for next year, I would be happy to accept them, because sometimes you have great ideas, like someone, and I didn't pass through my head like updating the Anatono Silver Rhino, which is the best budget reel for BFS in 2025 and probably 2026. It's a great idea. Other great idea that someone gave me is does upgrading a DC reel for hybrids or ceramic bearings help? I don't know. It should, because it will take out of the inertia, but will the DC system cancel it out? The benefits? I don't know. Maybe it's something that it needs to be tested. Not scientifically, because I never do that type of stuff. I don't have the time or the patience. So everything would be very empiric. Question from Ivan Vedris. How do you like the microbite tubular versus the solid tip? The tubular tip, unfortunately, I did not have the time to test it properly. So I tested the most stupid way possible. I've just chunked around 3 grams, didn't catch anything, but I have to say it's more sensitive. And for that, I have to explain that I have in spinning, I have the biggest versions, and on casting also, but on the I prefer the feel of my travel version. But yeah, it's more sensitive, and I've tested with crankbaits, one and the other, and you can feel more the crankbaits working on the tubular. Then you shouldn't use like tubular tip rods for crankbaits unless they are like a lighter rod. Um, so yeah, that I think it's more sensitive. That I have to say. In terms of preference, I would say if this was the summertime and was able to really put on a solid test with bottom presentations, I would say I would probably prefer the tubular for that, just because of the feel and the reading that I have, even with heavy current and only 3 grams and a small Polaris. I prefer the feel on bottom contact from the tubular, but that's the end of it. You have more feel, but the way that the run beds, I think it's better on the solid tip, and anything with trebles will be better on the solid tip. So you feel more bites, but you are not able to capitalize as much. So it how can I can how can I put it? When I review the Surunoya Elf Pro, I felt a lot of bites, and I only caught like 3 or 4 twitch head. And when I went there with solid tip rods, I've only felt like 1 or 2 more bites than the fish that I've caught. And I think that's the thing. So you have a lot of more feeling, and that really depends the response that your brain has to um, hooks or strikes versus hook sets or successful hook sets. Rokoyoko. Hey guys, happy holidays. So you came in almost by the first hour that I have on. Um, this one tastes a little bit um, like salt water without salt. Ah, but I need hydration. So we are on 47 minutes. I think I will make 1 hour out of this one since it was like so unexpected. But again, if you have any more questions, feel free. I was just saying that next year will be the year. You were fishing, yeah, yeah, because there is hot. It's good weather for fishing. It's not like cold and miserable like in Portugal right now. I think it's. Let me check the predictions of the weather. Minimal temperature 4 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Celsius, 2, 1, maximum 13, 14, 14, 12. So, yeah, no bueno. But at least it's sunny. We are not expecting any rain soon. So, maybe, hopefully, by the middle of next week, I'm able to fish and do some video shooting. But I'm not that confident. Still a lot of water getting dumped on the rivers. 37 degrees Celsius. That's a little bit too much also. Yeah, a little too hot. I prefer the 28s, 27s. Yeah, but if I had 37 degrees in Portugal, I bet you that um, that I would be fishing a lot more and having a lot more fun catching bass with a top water dick presentation, because it was the first year that I really gained confidence in a top water lure, but next year it will be this. I've ordered this one and they went down on price again. Um, no, or maybe I didn't order from this store. So let's check this store really quickly. The fish gets lazy also when it's too hot. Yeah, but if you go there on the beginning of the day or on the end of the day, um, it will be good, especially for top water. So this is just a random store. Let's close this crap. But yeah, they have cheap top water mouses, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm curious and that I'm doing. So this year I also did a little bit of Nedrig. Maybe next year will invest a little bit on lighter versions of drop shot. Um, at least when I'm fishing the lakes that I fished on the spring this year. What is this? Whoa, a Xander on the mouse. Nice. So you will be seeing a lot of this coming next year, or not at all if I cannot catch jack crap with it. You were using the Nano Jig Zero Lambari. What the hell is a Lambari? Ooh, a frying fish. Man, I just from looking for the fish, I know that they will be fun on ultralight because they are very flat. And if they are anything like sunfish or bluegill, whatever you want to call it, they are just awesome, awesome, awesome because they turn very fast and they can really put a good bend on your rod even if they are small. But this one is not. It's not it. I think this is like a tetra something something that you keep on an aquarium. Tetra, yes, Tetra Buenos Aires. Yeah, but you have a lot of different fishes that we have in Portugal, and a lot of different species. Basically, in here you had boga, you had scalo, barbel, and that's it. All the other things are invasive species or just migratory species that will come on the river. Really small. They have teeth, a lot of shads. Do you fish this with shads? Or the picture that I've got, it's just a small one. Yeah, but the ones that I see in here, most of folks in Brazil probably fish them like this with some sort of paste. Oh, okay, it's the small shad. I think I caught chub with it. It's the one that looks like a droplet with just a round tail on the end. Yeah, only the Nano Jig Zero can cast ice jigs. But this sounds like fun, especially if they are schooling like this. Piraputanga. What the hell is a Piraputanga? Because the name it's very suggestive in Portuguese. It's like a combination of the words Getting Insane, Ho, and G String, all in one word. Piraputanga. It's very, 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 very good name. And they look cool. Man, you Brazilians have you have too much fun putting names on stuff. It's not it's it's not fair. It's really not fair. Again, a very, very weird three word combination. Uh, Giant Lambari. Yeah, it looks like again. It should be a lot of fun because this sort of profile usually puts up a big fight because usually they are just muscle and very flat. Tungsten jig head size 4 and 6 weight. Want recommendation for a dart jig head? Darting jig heads. I have one answer. Blux, at least on AliExpress. Are these ones the smallest size they have? It's 3.5 grams. So I will put the link in chat. This is for the darting heads. This is the ones that I use. You can even put an assist hook underneath. You have the distance of the hook. It's 16 millimeters from here to here, which is not that big, and 8 millimeters. So I would say I usually use them for CBS with some sort of fork tail, that sort of stuff. You can see it in here the way they compact. One thing that why I buy these ones, even though they are not that cheap, it's because the hooks are very good quality. You don't run into the problem of the how can you say the hook moving inside of the lead, or the hook keeper, the bait keeper moving, which sometimes may happen with cheaper ones. But I think I don't know if it's this store or the blue. Jesus, blue, all blue, which is the same as Blux. One of them will have them cheaper. And now I cannot remember which one is which. These ones, I they are very similar. Not this one. So this store has a very similar one. The problem is the hook and the way they send them. So basically, the shape and the fitting it's the same, but the hook seems softer. And since they packed everything on a bag, um, sometimes you might lose one or two hooks because the tip is just like this. So that's a bit annoying. But let me see if I remember if I bought some tungsten jig heads from, if I remember correctly, it was Lureholic. But the only brands that I remember it's BU that have them, like the ones that you've seen here. Then you have Aroma. What is the Shino? The Shino brand that sells tungsten. Titus, but it's very expensive. It's these ones. Uh, 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 um, so these ones are quite expensive from Titus, and you still have to pay shipping, but the ones that I have are these ones, size 6, and you can get colors. In this case, only tungsten. So I will put the link on the chat for you. But basically, are these ones. These ones I've used, and they are quite nice because they even have some barb for the hook keepers. Again, the the hook itself, the hook is good. The only thing I don't like about the hook, it's the turn, because I have a hard time putting my soft plastic on the hook the way it's bended. Other than that, if you don't lose a lot of them and you don't have to keep re-rigging everything, it's quite, or if you pre-rig everything, it's quite easy. And with these ones, you really should pre-rig at home, because since it has the barb to keep the soft plastic in place, you shouldn't be like fiddling with this with cold hands or anything, because you will ruin your plastic, especially if it's a heavy salty one. But I think, yeah, these are the cheaper ones that you can buy. I think Zukibus also has, but the ones from Zukibu have weird shapes, so there's also that about it. And I think they are heavier. They also have like net jigs made of tungsten. The problem with this store is the reliability of price. So sometimes they will hike the prices. Sometimes they will have things out of stock for a long time. Uh, Let me check. Zukibo. Let's see. Mm, mm. This is sort of other way of rigging stuff. Yeah, it's more expensive. And they are huge. So 1 aught for 1.8 grams. So I would use this for like sheds, surface sheds, floating sheds, something like it. Yeah, these ones are good for saltwater. It's, oh, look. So this one, I will probably save the link. So people that have a hard time finding anything under size 8 hook on jig heads, these ones from Zukibo are actually the ones that I sometimes use to throw with tantas. So I will just put in here Zukibo size 8, because it's very, very hard to find on AliExpress. All of them will have the golden hook. All of them will be from zero point 0.5 to 3 grams, but none of them usually says the size of the hook, and you will end up with a size 6 hook, which it's bigger than it should for like the almost the smallest size of tanta. So these ones are quite hard to come by. So I'll just paste, if I can find the cardinal. So here's the link for these jig heads, because they are very, very, very hard to come by. For some reason, Okay, it just appeared. So these ones are quite hard to come by, so I will just leave the link there. And I think we are done. I don't know if you have any more questions or you want to delve on a huge debate. Oops. I might post, and please keep check me on this. I might post because I have a lot of things to go through. I should post maybe a survey what you want me to pick up next to fish with, and I will just put, I don't know what is the maximum amount of options that I might post on a survey on YouTube. But I will just put a bunch of like ultralight spinning reels, and I will give you the option which one you want to see first. So that should be fun. And I think that's all for today. Didn't expect to get those many people watching. I know it's like 7, 8 tops, but I really thought that today would be like a how do you call it, a desert of people on the live because of the holidays. So I had a lot of fun, and fortunately you had some questions, which is always nice, and it's easier for me to keep talking if you keep questioning coming. So I think I will call it for a day. I will see you guys on my next live or my next video, whatever comes up first. Probably a video because I really have to edit something for next week. And yeah, with that said, I will see you guys on my next video.